Hi, I'm gonna tell you a story today. Alright, so in honor of the teaser trailer for the Thor Dark World Marvel movie that just came out, I thought I would tell you the origin story that comes from Norse myth, which I find interesting in the context of the Thor movie, and I'll tell you later. So there was an ice world and a fire world, and where they met there was this kind of void type thing, which has an unpronounceable name. I'm not even going to try to pronounce any of these names because they have way too few vowels and consonants in odd places, and it's just not a good thing for an English speaker like me. I don't know how to say gap, which is gap is the gap between the fiery world that I just described and the next world, the ball of ice. And in that, where they met, where the first being was ever created, and that first being was a frost giant named I can't do it. It's only 4 letters. Ymir. Somebody help me pronounce this. Ymir. It shouldn't be that hard because it's only 4 letters, but it is. It's like Ymir. He was the first being ever, this frost giant. And then from him there were like three other frost giants that showed up. And then a cow showed up. And yeah, sometimes there's just this random showing up of things that are alive, but just bear with me here. A cow showed up, and the cow fed the other frost giants. It also licked some salty blocks of ice, and from this, frozen in these salty blocks of ice, there was a man named Buri. I can pronounce that one, yeah, Buri. If I'm pronouncing it wrong, then just, I don't like you. But anyway, from Buri, he magically begot a son, much in the same way Ymir magically begot 3 other frost giants. But he magically begot a son named Bor, and Bor married another frost giant. The frost giants are way outnumbering the Asgardian, these men at this point, which will eventually become the Asgardians. But that's the next part of the story. I'm a little bit ahead of myself here. This giant and Bor had 3 sons: Odin, you know that name, Odin, Vili, and Ve. I'm just guessing on the pronunciation again. Odin, especially, more so than his brothers, was worried about how much the frost giants outnumbered him and his group. We're gonna call him the men, outnumbered the men. So they waited until Ymir was asleep, and then they killed him. And because Ymir is a really, really big guy, he spilled so much blood. I'm just assuming it was a neck wound, but it didn't have to be. He spilled so much blood that almost all of the other frost giants died, except one whose name was Bergelmir, I think. But anyway, Bergelmir and his wife escaped this flood by climbing up onto like a tree type thing. Those are the only frost giants that survived Odin and his treacherous slaying of Ymir. And then from there, all the other worlds were created with Odin and his group at the top of the food chain. When you think about the movie Thor, because this is how most Americans are introduced to Norse myth, through the Marvel version of it. So if you think about how the Great War at the beginning was really started by Odin and his killing of the Frost Giants leader in his sleep, then it adds a whole nother dimension to the politics of what's going on in that movie, which makes the movie so much more fun, I think. So you can think about that while you're watching Thor or the teaser trailer or eventually Thor Dark World or any of the Marvel movies, really. But now you know.